We have Arijit Ghosh from Seth Jaipuria schools, and we're going to have this amazing conversation around schools and how schools improve. What do you think? Do you think schools need to improve?
Before answering that question, thanks, Willie, to be a part of this conversation. Well, every school in the world needs to improve. So that's the basic purpose of the school. I don't think there's any school in this world who would say that, well, I'm doing fantastic, I need not improve. So it's an absolute continuum. So even our schools are not an exception.
The reason I'm asking is because all school advertising looks like 100% pass, 100% this and 100% that. It almost feels like there's no room for any improvement. How do you think schools need to start beginning to even think about improving? What to improve, where to improve, when to improve?
So I think that's a fantastic question. I think the first basic part is having your data right, your data set right. You know you need to capture, right, you said where to improve, and then it comes how. The how comes later. First you need to know. Just like in pedagogy, we always say during classroom teaching, learning, then you need to know your learners well. Only then the improvement comes in. Here also in a school improvement cycle, you need to understand where you are currently. So data plays a very, very massive role, and be it, let's say, the academics data, be it, let's say, process related data, be it, let's say, how much you're investing in your CPD, what impact it is having. Now, an average school these days have a lot of associations and partnerships with external organizations and working on programs. What impact it is having? Are you just doing for the sake of doing it, and as you said, put it on your advertisement in glossy bold letters, or is it really a value add? So we need to continuously have that value add in the lives of our children.
That's brilliant, because so much of it is just done for the sake of doing it, right? Just check box.
Correct.
We did this, we did this.
Correct.
But is it really making a difference?
Correct.
And that will help you kind of do more of what is working rather than do more of what is probably not. One question I wanted to focus a little bit more, because even I'm thinking about this. Who is responsible for change within a school system? Is it the principal? Is it the class teacher? Is it the headmaster? Is it the coordinator?
I think it's all.
Outsider?
I think it's all. It's the entire ecosystem who's responsible for the development of the school and the improvement of every single child studying in that school. So definitely strong leadership helps. It works a lot because it's about building that right culture in the school. So it's creating that environment of learning, of improving. That is very, very important. And then comes the most important piece of the jigsaw, I would say, are the teachers. Those teachers are the real backbone of the school. The school is as good as its teaching staff. And then parents also do play a very, very important role in this entire picture. So how much you are engaging your parents as a school system. Are the parents only welcome during annual days or during, let's say, PTMs, and the PTMs become a blame game that you are not doing this at home, and the parents say, no, at home we are supporting, it's in the school, it's in the class where the children are not performing. So there has to be a more collaboration between all these three major stakeholders, and not to forget the community at large. So I think a lot of community role needs to be there in the development of this.
That brings me to a very interesting question. If your neighbor comes to you and says, I want to put my child in a school, one option is the best school in the area who says he's the best school. The other option is a school who's saying it's an improving school. Which school would you recommend the parent join, and why?
Again, the parameters are very, very important. So you are labeling yourself best on what parameters? Is it best of infrastructure, AC buses, and classroom teaching learning is something which, let's not get into it, or it's an improving school? Yeah, the classrooms may not have AC, the school transport may not have AC, but there's real impactful teaching learning happening. The so-called, what we all call about 21st century skills, those not only for the sake of terminologies, but real work is happening on that. Children are being made independent, curious, critical thinkers in that particular school. So I would put my child over there.
Amazing, because it almost feels like the best has is there, but an improving school is being a reflective school.
Absolutely.
Always improving.
That's
always
a
improving.
fantastic word. It's a reflective. So I think schools need to be very, very reflective these days. And what better way than focusing on data?
Excellent. And now that you were part of the PISA launch in India, what do you think about PISA?
Oh, that's
your message?
Brilliant. That's brilliant. I'll just take a minute to talk about what we are doing at our 47 schools now. So we last year we did a pilot with grade 5 benchmark assessments, which the NEP is talking about. And not only once in that academic year we did a baseline in April. We just finished an end line in January. And though we have seen a very, very minor delta change, but those can be of several other factors. So we are now currently working on supporting our teachers and our students towards deep learning, towards building those competencies. And let me share this very honest thing that the grade 5 benchmark assessments, the competencies which we picked up were from PISA. Exactly copy pasted from the PISA because you need to learn from the experts.
Correct.
Why do you have to, while defining the competencies, why do you have to reinvent the wheel when
Correct.
it's already there? So yes, the test items we have created, because PISA is for 15-year-olds and we are talking about grade 5, which is about 10-year-olds. So we designed our test items, but competency is what we focus on. So now when the NEP is talking about 3, 5 and 8, and also there is a parallel talk that maybe grade 10 board exams will no longer be there next year or the year after that. I think another benchmark assessment and mapping with global standards in grade 10 will be fantastic. So that is something which we should all strive for. What we need today, at least in the Indian education system context, is competency-based education, and PISA offers you that. PISA offers you a global benchmarking to need to know where you are and where you can possibly get to.
Thank you so much, Arijit.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure talking
Thank
to
you.